So the next video, this video is all about tender scents, and this is kind of your, people tend to wear like citruses and light ones and that in the summer, obviously, to escape from the heat. You want something soft and gentle and a little bit kind of cozy if you're not like a citrusy kind of fresh fruity kind of person. So I've kind of gone for these. I think they're all kind of basically round florals, generally speaking. So yeah, it's kind of a fresh alternative for summer if you're not a big citrusy or whatever lover. And that's all it is really. So we'll get cracking on. So first up is, we'll get the obvious one out of the way first. Rolling in Love from Kilian. Now this one we all know. It's predominantly just all about musks. There's a little bit of tuberose, I think there's freesia in there. It just gives a little fresher kind of nod in there. But the tuberose is kind of soft and gentle with its sweetness. I think there's jasmine again, just that little soft, tender, fluffy kind of jasmine with a nice thing. But it's all about the musks. There's lots and lots of musks, in particular Ambre, which gives it this kind of beautiful grainy about it. It smells like soft, fresh kind of skin, and kissing that skin, that very human thing, that very kind of intimate moment, and it's utterly incredible. It's not a big fragrance again, but then musks will linger around you. That kind of fresh, clean, sensual skin will linger around you all day long. And also the tuberose gives a little bit of a kind of, to me, a little bit of a cherry thing. It's supposed to smell like a white scent, but to me it does. It's in a red bottle anyway. It does have this kind of reddish, kind of more, love, passion kind of smell about it, and it's just unbelievably sensual. And again, in any temperature, but especially the heat, I think is utterly magnificent. So that's Kilian's Rolling in Love. Next is a much bigger scent. You would only spray 1 or 2 sprays. It's an Amouage, and it's Lilac Love. Ooh. There's something about this fragrance. It starts off, it's massive. Don't overspray it. You kind of get the white chocolate and the lilac, like a lilac syrup kind of coming through, and they're kind of the main thing. And then obviously as it develops, the lilac becomes a little softer, but it's still kind of there. And then you get all this, like, I think there must be vanilla in this, sandalwood. So there's this kind of creamy, smooth base. It's not sickly creamy. It's definitely more on the woody side, and it just becomes a musk bomb. The musks are so nice, and it smells to me, again, it's probably the lilac, but like a cardigan from the 1980s. It smells like when you'd put your head on your mum's cardigan. Did I do that? Probably not. My auntie's cardigan or something. It's got this nostalgia and this kind of big hug about it. Again, in the summer, even in the winter, don't spray this heavy. You don't think it's strong, but trust me, it is. And it's just utterly beautiful. So yeah, I'm not going to waffle on. I think we all know by now what Lilac Love is. This kind of gorgeous, fresh, and then big, syrupy, and then kind of a more lingering kind of lilac, mixed with that kind of them creamy kind of feels, a little touch of white chocolate and that. It's gorgeous. That's Lilac Love from Amouage. Next is another kind of very sensual legend that I think we all know. It's Insolence from Guerlain. Now it's violet again, isn't it? A kind of powdery, soft, tender violet. And I think that the rose, to me, probably adds a bit of coolness. Again, it's rose petals. and then mixed with the gorgeous musks and all that loveliness. There is a bitter touch. It's not quite like the EDT. We're talking about the EDP here. The berries are a little bit sweeter, but they add an edge, sharp tiny twang to it, which makes it a bit fruity, which with the violet, the big powder bomb of violet, it's proper Parma violet, this seems to work and give it another edge. And then mixing with that powderiness is the musks and stuff, and it's very, very lovely. It's not got a dark edge, this one, I'd say. It's more a kind of purple, comfortable, squishy. Next is, oh, it's a magnificent one. Sits up there with my top Diors. I never know which is my favourite. I kind of spin through them. Was Ambre Nuit, which makes its way onto a lot of lists. And there's a reason for that. If you like a kind of slightly sweeter rose and you like musk, this is the ultimate musky rose kind of fragrance. It's musk and rose. There's a kind of, the musk is a little bit grainy. The rose is powdery, sweet, but then becomes this kind of, I think there is there a fruit in this? There might well be, or it might just be the rose, but it does have this kind of little bit like a roseade kind of feel. And obviously there's patchouli, I think, with it as well. Ambergris listed, whether it's ambergris or not, doesn't matter. It's just a musky rose that kind of tickles up your nose and is unbelievably sensual. I suppose it's like someone's rubbing a rose down your spine a bit. It's that kind of magnificent one, like a little bit tickly and a little bit makes you go, ooh. And it's a cloud of this grainy, musky rose. I don't know what else to say about Ambre Nuit. Again, in the heat, it's lovely. None of these, I don't spray heavy anyway, but you know, 2 or 3 sprays should be enough. And it just kind of stays with a cloud. This is perhaps a more linear one. It does change slightly. I think there's a resin in the bottom, so it does have a sweet, rich base in there. But it's a rose musk cloud. That's Ambre Nuit from Dior. Next is a fantastic indie one from April Aromatics. And this is a different one. Normally Tanya will create a scene or a place, or just it'll take you somewhere special. Scent of Many Colours was kind of something she made up with, I don't know what the proper word is, leftovers. Leftover ingredients and that, and it's predominantly rose, but it's rose petals. That's the biggest kind of thing, and there are other things in there which does give this kind of rainbow effect, all different coloured roses and flowers, and it's just petally and soft and gentle, and it's lovely. It's again unusual for me to love such a rose predominant one so much, but it's got this freshness from it in there as well. Again, probably from all the petals and that. But it's just a soft, gentle kaleidoscope of flower petals. And a kind of beautiful muskiness in there. I think there's a little bit of a woody, there's probably vetiver, I would say. A little bit of a woodiness in it. But it's the roses are all the roses. You've got your big voluptuous kissy rose, your cool petals, a little bit of a sharper rose in there. And it just all comes together to create just this gorgeous, quite unique actually. Obviously we've all smelt rose scents, but with it having everything in there, and it all goes together so smoothly, it's magnificent. So that's from April Aromatics, and that's Scent of Many Colours. Next is from Cartier, and that's Basier Volè. This is lilies. That's all there is really to say about it. It's green lilies, it's kind of white lilies. It's got the spice, it's got the petaliness, it's got all that tenderness about it. You can just imagine, I have seen fresh lilies, but not in the wild kind of growing, if you like. I just imagine the air would be intoxicating, and it's got a creaminess in there, probably from the petals, or there's probably something else going in there. The the right amount of spice and muskiness tickles your nose a bit, and it just smells fresh and sensual and huggy again. And it's perfect again in any weather, but in the summer you just smell again like a beautiful vase of lilies, I guess. And that kind of slight creamy hint in it gives it this kind of warm aura, this like soft something wrapped around you, a shawl or a little bit of a, I don't know, a summer scarf, a soft cotton t-shirt, just smelling of all the great kind of green, verdant, outdoorsy kind of florals and that, and it's really, really beautiful. There's not a lot you can say about this one. It's just gorgeous lilies. And again, another very tender, beautiful, sensual one for the heat. So that's Rose of Volè from Cartier. Next is a Chanel. And again, another big white flower. It's called Gardenia. So you can imagine it's predominantly around Gardenia. And I've got the EDT. Which isn't as big and creamy, let's say. This one, it has a much more of a greener kind of fresher touch to it. The gardenias smell like they're still out in nature. It's still, you know, again like the last one, all these kind of green around it, and there's other florals in there which kind of just perk up the gardenia. Yes, it's gardenia focused, but the other florals add different kind of elements to it all, and it's really, really nice and magnificent. One of the things about it that I do love is that greenness, that again, that touch with nature and stuff. It's a Chanel, so there is a bit of a kind of patchouli, and in the opening, yeah, I don't know if there is citrus, but you do definitely get a fresher kind of fizz to it. It's typically Chanel, but lovely. So that's, yeah, don't need to waffle on about this one. It basically smells of lovely, thick, rich green gardenias. That's Gardenia from Chanel. Next is Date with a Dame from One Way Bridge. Again, I won't waffle on loads. This is one I mention all the time. It's tuberose, bit of a kind of cherry feel, a bit of a suede feel. It's so unbelievably beautifully musky. I always think of it as, like I always say, it's like a kind of biker chick kind of thing. And we're taking off the helmet, waving around their long kind of purple hair kind of thing. It's unbelievably sensual, and it's got the right amount of darkness, and there's no cherry in it. That kind of cherry feel, probably from the tuberose, or maybe there's the little hint of anise in there. It just gives it this really kind of dark, rich, sensual tone in there. And then it's unbelievably, it's the musks again. The musks are them kind of very human ones. It's not dirty or anything like that, but it has that little bit of a kind of cheeky wink about it. There's something in all this beauty that's not quite so innocent. It's just gorgeous, and it's such a beautiful, tender, sensual, different one again for the heat. So that's Date with a Dame from One Way Bridge. Next is a kind of very nothing scent. That's 51 Woman, or whatever the hell, Femme or whatever, from Roja. This again is a petally one. Now it's rose petals and things like that. It's soft, it's tender, it's got a nice element of powderiness to it. It's kind of clean, and it's just very lovely and easy. It's one you may well have smelt like a lot of times. It's not the same as Le Bleu, it's not, but it's got that kind of same floral feel, if you get what I mean. Now violet isn't a listed floral in this, but it definitely has that more purple smell to me than a kind of pinky reddy rose. So I'd say there is violet in there, and obviously that probably adds to the powderiness and that. There is a kind of little hint of like a sweet fruitiness going through it. Where that's from, don't know. But yeah, it's not complicated, it's not unique, but it's soft and easy and tender, and something that you can just wear and smell nice in the heat. So that's 51 from Roja. Finally is Musk from Kayali, which is exactly what it says on the tin. I think there's obviously a floral or what have you in there to give it some body. Possibly jasmine again, I don't know off the top of my head. There's a kind of just a little hint of that kind of sweet softness in there. But again, it's all just musks. Is it possibly ambroxan or something in there? Maybe, along with other musks. I don't think there's ambre. There's a white musky feel. It's got that kind of sensual nose tickly thing, and it's just like, it's like the Your Skin but better kind of fragrance, if you get what I mean. It's not strong or anything, it's meant for layering as well, isn't it? But on its own, it's just a lovely, easygoing veil of a scent that just kind of gives that little bit of something extra. Like I say, when you smell it, you get the sweetness of whatever the florals are, maybe some of the musks, and then that kind of beautiful, tender nose tickle, relaxed, like walking outside naked kind of feel to it. It's beautiful. So that's Kayali's Musk. And that's the end of a kind of hopefully very short video. These are just, like I say, alternatives to having a kind of citrus in the heat. Sometimes, not all of us love citrus, and florals have that same effect whatever the season, don't they? You can pick one that kind of suits your mood and the weather and stuff. So that's all it is. So what would be your favourite kind of summery tender scents? Alright folks, thanks, bye.